Hello everyone and welcome back to the Bodyhood Brawl League Season 3. We are here with an upper division game and episode 42, and it is going to be a game between Paranoia and Dig. As you can see, the rating here is a slight advantage to Paranoia. We have Horrors of Mordheim. One warband deploys to 3 strike teams, while the other one is scattered and does not get to deploy. Kind of an interesting deployment here. Seems like Paranoia was the lucky one here and got to deploy, but those 3 groups are easy to be isolated. It's going to be interesting to see if Dig can capitalize on this. He really should have, even if he is scattered, he's usually scattered around his wagon, meaning that he could get the group here in the lower right corner if he wants to. We're gonna skip ahead on the deployment here and take a look as soon as Paranoia has deployed his units. So here we are at the start of the game. We can see that, oh wow, we have a Last Got Talent Ghoul here for Dig. Undead has had this problem throughout the Bodyhood Brawl League Season 3, which is a league characterized by the Last Got Talent being so powerful and almost a necessity here. And the Undead is by far the weakest warband. They have lots of things to complain about compared to the others under the settings that have been laid forth. So Globadier here as well, typically a good unit to go with the Undead in case you're using lots of zombies and or vampires, which might not be the case here for Dig. Still a good unit to use. You can see that Paranoia has put a lot of his power here to Last Got Talent warriors as well as the captain in the left corner. We can take a look at the top left corner. As usual, we see 170 morale for Paranoia, 141 for Dig. I'm gonna see how many zombies Dig actually does employ here. Could be important in determining. Wow, this is a very good spot to start shooting. And white, we see first blood drawn. Yes, we will. Bit of damage here done on Billy. Very good vantage point. One of the problems with Undead Warband as well is that they do not have much in the way of range. See if we can expect a response here. So Paranoia playing as the Mercenaries, contrary to Dig's Undead. The Mercenaries are one of the strongest warbands, and even so, both of the players have not done too well so far. Let's take a look here what the Dreg will do. The Dreg might be an Archer Dreg here. I think that is what Dig's... I think Dig has a Dreg with a bow that he always switches out of later on. Or if that is Quist, I don't really recall. But this seems to have a bow here and seems to have the Wolf Priest in sight, doing a little bit of damage, 0% chance of a critical hit. Both of the players going to look at taking a victory from this. They are both through to the single elimination playoffs that will ensue, as all players in the upper division are, but it matters what kind of ranking you go in because it determines who you're going to face. Let's take a quick look here as the captain starts milling about here off the current standing of these 2 players. You see Paranoia has 2 victories and 5 losses to his name compared to Dig, which have 1 win and 6 losses. And I think Paranoia's victories, they have been against Kid and Paw very early on, and an extremely lucky victory against Hole Poker, which surprised a lot of people. But the background to that was apparently that Hole Poker's keyboard stopped working in the middle of the fight and he couldn't fight back. Anyhow, that is how it has gone so far. Paranoia, if you remember, had a bit of luck against Kid and Paw as well, with a few of the critical hits. But he has overall tried to play a decent game here, and he has some powerful Last Got Talent warriors here using overpowered tactics, trying to stun his opponents and then focus fire them down if he can. In that way he's very melee centric, and the Wolf Priest is a good complement to that. The champion much less so. Could have used something else that was not as melee focused, and it's difficult for a 4th hero to catch up until the playoffs. Let's see what Licotrab here has up his sleeve, if he has mastered a spell so far. A very strange name, Licotrab. Is that like, if you pronounce it backwards, does it mean something? Bartokil. Unsure if it actually does. Doesn't leave him in ambush there. So as we were saying, the undead are very unfavored, and that is because the Last Got Talents are so powerful and the undead does not really get much of a choice. The ghoul, being the worst henchman in the game, doesn't become much better once you make a Last Got Talent out of him, and that's the only choice that the undead warband has available to them. So they are lagging behind and suffering, and since there is an insistence on playing from level 0 as well, you will not see as many necromancers. They are unlocked last. And one of the main powers of the undead warband is the impressives, which we might not see here as they are typically a waste. We do have some impressives in the Budget Brawl League taking place. I think Kidnap has a Rat Ogre that it doesn't seem to level. Game Night has a Mercenary Ogre that he seems to try and level up, and in general I think it's a very good idea to pick out an impressive if you're starting to fall behind a lot. Like if one of your heroes suffers a debilitating injury and you get stupidity or something similar, or he actually dies and you need to catch up, then an impressive might just be the way. Foregoing the 4th hero entirely, which is typically very low level, and you're not going into a Last Got Talent there either. This kind of movement seems to indicate that Paranoia wants to meet in the middle, and that's kind of a classic, but is they going to let him? He has him here. If they can just charge in, he can catch these units standing on by and do a lot of damage to them. Skipped a few of the ghouls there, coming back. I'm just in time to see the Clobodier trying for some shooting here. The other shooting alternative that Dig has available to him misses here, 60% chance. He knows that there are units here, specifically the captain. He knows that they are separated, so he really needs to act here and do something about it. He could also cut up in the middle and then go right, trapping the 3 units to the right and get them, as it will take a long time for the power core, the 2 Last Got Talent and the captain here of Paranoia, to actually get somewhere and get into helping in that situation. You can see that they are moving up on the left side here, and many units have moved off to the left side as well, so they are completely abandoned those 3 units. The champion and the 2 warriors. That should give a decisive advantage to Dig. Needs to do something about it. So what is he going to do? Oh, I have a very good shooting opportunity here on the Last Got Talent Ghoul. And that looks like it could be painful, but he elects to not shoot. Alright, so let's see what Paranoia is up to here. So he has lost his opportunity to shoot twice, and getting that instead of for an Overwatch Yeah, that doesn't really seem worth it. That was kind of a miscalculation on Paranoia's part, I would say. It must be much better to just shoot once, reload for free, and then move to that position without losing a single blue pill and then do the overwatch. There's always something to learn here. See Ulrich's Gift, the starting spell, which is a very good spell in a melee-centered warband here. Particularly to the Last God talents. I think we mentioned that before, but it does grant immunity to All Alone, which is one of the main weaknesses of the Last God talent warriors. Plus, of course, the extra damage and the hit chance. There's not too many ways of getting a good melee resistance in this league either. Well, the Overwatch does trigger. What else? You can see that he has cut off the path here with the vampire. If only he realizes that he should go east instead of going in here. But Dig does not seem to realize that. You can see that the idol was lost there, minus 16 morale, evening the morale difference out here a little bit. Basically, if you're gonna compare the morale here, 154 to 141 now, each zombie, once they are level, they are worth 9 morale loss plus 1 per level if it were a normal henchman. But if it's a zombie, it's worth absolutely nothing to kill. But you can make the comparison here that we've seen one zombie so far from Dig, meaning that, and he's probably around level 7-8ish. Yeah, only one zombie on the overhead map as well. And that means that we can expect, if he's on level 8 plus 9, that's 17, so he should have around 17 more morale than it's indicated. That is a proper estimation of his warband morale levels. If he was another warband. There is some tactical flexibility in being able to lose the zombies, of course, and it hurts extra much to lose anything else. It's a very diverse hero group that Dig has picked out for his run of this tournament. A Vampire Thrall, a Dreg, a Last God Talent Ghoul and a Globadier. And it's probably coming in the exact same way order as they are unlocked, these units. Dreg first, Vampire Thrall second, picking up the Globadier as soon as he got the chance for the third hero, and then trying to catch up using the Last God Talent Ghoul. Medtop Solvan has already reached maximum attack points. Question if his Dig actually does see these units snaking up. He should know that they are around. He's seen 2 teams join up, he's not seen the third one. He should figure out exactly where they are. And they should be on the right side of the map. Seeking a good striking position while still being out of sight of some of Paranoia's range attacks. Is there a bridge connecting those two though? Otherwise, why go up into that building? Very well might be. It's very dark here, we can't really see too much. I could maybe try and increase the lightning a little bit from my end. There we go. Well, this increases a bleeding effect, of course, on the icons. It's kind of a haphazard move here, but I think Dig has made a tactical error. He is attacking up in the left corner, but he's afraid of going up there because so much concentrated power of Paranoia. But this is really not serving him well. Every single turn that goes by here, the rest of Paranoia's units are coming up in support. And if he starts the combat, he might even be close enough to get in for a flank. Unless he starts it right now, that is. It's gonna take them 2 more turns to get up there. Using a delay here on one of the goals, probably gonna use a delay on the second goal as well in that case. What do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4 ghouls and 1 zombie. So we only know there's only 1 zombie in Dig's warband. A lot of the players in BBL Brawling here has started to get up to level 10 with some of their units. Well, not a lot of them, but they are starting to get very close. And as they are getting close, the question is, do you go for more reserves? And the answer should probably be no. Might be useful to think that you could level them up and have them in case something happens, that is it. But most of the time it's better to, yeah, we don't see a bridge here. Not a bridge that Let's Go Talent could cross. But getting more reserves while attempting, they will never get up to a level where they can be useful in the playoffs, and the playoffs is rapidly approaching. We are only playing 11 games here in the upper and lower division, and these players are playing their 8th game here, as we were seeing it. So they only have 3 more games until the playoffs, and that means that they cannot really get to a desirable level with the new guy. And even if they could get them to a decent level or have them as a reserve, it's usually better in the PvEs to have a good fully leveled up unit that can carry around loot and equipment, as well as contributing to winning the game more easily. Some players have started to lose a little bit against AI or taking more losses, and now is not the time to be risking your valuable units. Let's see what Dig does here for his last goal. He seems to be all over the place, but we do know that he is concentrated on these buildings here. Are we going to see an engagement being made here by Paranoia? We might. That doesn't seem like it. prefers to go into an ambush. It's a pretty poor ambush. You can see that he's just around the corner here, and you can just walk into his ambush and cancel it if you so choose. Pretty decent position as far as fortressing it up here, but if you do get caught you cannot retreat. That is a danger. See this last warrior here moving up. They're trying to stay a little bit out of reach, but one of them is, out of sight, but one of them is definitely in line of sight, standing openly in the street. So if Dig has been unaware of these units and not could figure out where they were, now he should be aware as soon as he comes up here. I can actually shoot at this marksman without taking an overwatch shot back. Yeah, this kind of odd actually. Better quality, it might be actually having the exact same range at this moment. He's just slightly higher quality here. Like a purple shuriken will be the same as a blue bow. But that did not seem like a purple shuriken damage wise. Might be something to do with the line of sight here. Wow, he's really putting most of his ranged units up. This is really bad. This is a really bad move by Paranoia. Because if you can get someone up there by Dig, he can lock down 2 arch units who's just 1 melee unit, and then he cannot do anything. He only needs to get into combat with one of them, of course, but the other one cannot retreat anywhere, so he cannot shoot at anything unless Dig presents him with a target. Have the slow zombie moving up here, but it could be a line of sight issue. Sometimes when you do an overwatch, for instance, at a little bit back from a window, and you can shoot out at someone, but they cannot shoot back at you. And it's a bit strange. It happens with different heights. When different units at different heights try and hit each other. Wow, really messing up the words here today. Alright, Purple Hammer is delivered. See one of the overwatchers going off. There is another one coming up here from the marksman if he moves forward. He does, 54% hit chance. He's taking a bit of damage here, Grandpa. We didn't see it earlier, might have been a bit from the trap, so he'd been shot a little. Oh yeah, we did see him go up when he took the idol. Took an overwatch shot there as well. Is he going to go for this? He's considering it. They don't have any protection right now. Yes, he is. He's going up here, and he is going to trap both of the marksmen. And that is a purple hammer, so that can definitely hurt a lot. %3 chance of a critical hit here, so let's see if he manages to do something. Just gonna see if he can manage the terror test in the next turn. Has 3 attacks, should be 1 more at least. Oh wow. Okay, so he's a little bit under leveled in that case, only has 7 red pills I believe. The Dreg, it should be time for him to switch out of his bow, unless he's dedicated to that. There's gonna be some help incoming for Dig now. He cannot leave his vampire up there all alone. The captain and the wolf princess coming up, as well as some of the other units. He needs to act, and he seems to be on the opposite building here on the street level. So he's not really planned this very well, this strike force. He saw an opportunity, he took it, but now he needs to support it. He stays with the bow. He stays with the bow. He might be a bowman. Gonna be very tempted to go into the vampire from here. Going to do just that. Well, if the... Wow. If the marksman actually could have walked out of there, and it did look like he could, because of the positioning of Dig's vampire, the captain comes in and completely blocks it. Why do Paranoia do this to himself? Well, that is the question. He gets one Ulrich's gifts going. Let's see if he can survive the Divine Wrath. He can, 10% chance. Speaks of having devotion probably on this character. Going to try a second one. You can see that he likes... This is a good choice. It's a much better choice targeting one of the last got talents here. 25% chance now for a Divine Wrath. Is he going to risk a third one? No. Alright, needs to be some support coming in now. There are lots of units. Can they make the trip up there? Do they have enough movement for it? The last got talent goal definitely should have. Oh no, he should not. He moved up into the building on the opposite street. It's pretty poor news. I wonder why, what made Dig go up there? Even if it was a mistake by Paranoia to put his arch units there and then to block them even further, as he had a saving grace, it's not really helping Dig's case that he moved up there with his leader and he cannot really support him. He needs to support him. Imagine if Paranoia had only moved in at the very leftmost piece of the circle of the vampire here. He could have moved out with the marksman and he could have moved in with another character, the last got talent warrior for instance, to make quickly short work of the vampire. There were some opportunities there that have been missed by Paranoia for sure. Alright, he decided to lock down this unit and he manages to score overpower. It's gonna be no return of blows from Johnny here. That was a very good idea. He manages a critical hit as well. Open wounds minus 10% hit chance for the rest of the fight for Johnny. Johnny is not looking too well and it could be focus fire down here. And here comes the flank. Gonna help protect and shut off the path towards the vampire. Doesn't really matter if he tries to hide that unit here. At this point it should have been revealed already as the vampire moved up. Here we go, that is quite a long distance to go on a flanking route and there are units out there. Can she be supported? The problem with this thing is that there are no more units that can actually get into the vampire, so risking more units. Yeah, we will see, we'll see. Can support part of this. No, it doesn't have enough movement. I shouldn't really get Can he walk straight into the ambush? Yeah, I think he just did. The ambush that we talked about, the bad ambush by Paranoia. It's gonna be a return blow if it does an attack here, but decides not to. Alright. Saving all of his red pills as well. Can he swing around and attack the captain? Yes, he can. It's gonna be interesting to see how many red pills that ghoul has. And what is the objective of this ghoul here? Can he actually get into this fight? He could probably have used 2 units on the captain, but he used a clumsy charge there. Alright, why have double ambush here? You have an ambush outside with the vampire thrall, and then you block the ambush with the ghoul. Well, it is an interesting turn of events. They seem to be laying... They talked a little bit, both of the players talked a little bit about them hitting various traps, but it seems like they are creating the traps for themselves as well. See Jaw Strike here, they're very flexible, these units of Paranoia. The last got talent warriors and mastered overpower as well, and manages to stun here. Completely removing the 4 red pills that he had as a counter attack. Only had 1 attack. Doesn't look too well for ghouls starting with the name of J. Still no kills though, but can Dig recover from this position? I'm not so sure. I'm just gonna see a leap here in initiative from that switch. Uses a knee shot here, trying to remove a little bit more of the initiative of that vampire thrall. And moves into the vampire. Alright. I mean, he has a decent chance of shooting stuff from there. Dig has presented him with an opportunity. And he's gonna throw that away. We have the first kill here. Paranoia taking the lead 1-0. Does he want to trigger the ambush? Oh, he can just walk in here and not trigger the ambush. Cancelling it in its entirety. No, okay, it did hit, it did hit. That hurt quite a bit. Quite a bit. 74 damage being dealt. Yeah, the Veil of Secrecy is no more for these units.
A new round has started.
There's plenty of groupings here for the Globadier to come in. He could drop a Poison Cloud, for instance, on that fight, targeting both the captain and 2 of his marksmen and the vampire being immune, of course. Could have been a very good thing to do. We have another decent shot at poison globe here. Is he going to do anything about it? Well, he's in a problem now because the vampire thrall is not blocking the right side here with the ambush. He could go out on the right side and engage whatever unit he wants here. That is of course an interesting target, getting the last got talent ghoul. Does not want to trigger the ambush here, but triggers the ambush. Instead of going down there finishing off the last talent ghoul. Probably wants to do a regular attack first, or at least an overwatch indeed. I mean an insult. 88% chance, pretty good. Managing a very good overpower. You can see the power of overpower coming into play here for Paranoia. Effectively finishing units off by themselves. Especially if you can support the overpower, it's even more powerful. And he uses the switcheroo here to try and jump ahead to make use of that overpower in case his unit is isolated in a duel. And it's a good tactic. It is a good tactic. I don't think we've seen that from any of the other mercenary players yet, at least. Not even a dodge stance? And the zombie seemed like he just ended his turn there. Oh, it's tempting to go into the vampire. If he does, he should probably use a charge here. Doesn't do that, doesn't want extra damage. Could have used a charge in this case as well. Even with the switch, could have done a bit more damage. Moving into the Globadier here would be a good choice. Forcing him to disengage. Well, let's see, could finish off one of the marksmen here, equalizing the score, but it looks very grim for Dig. Both of them have done quite a lot of mistakes so far, but it's the isolation and of Dig's characters and the power of overpower from Paranoia's last good talents are really bringing things up to a head. And I like how, well, naturally the ability here of 55% chance is a good thing to hit on the captain. He's the only real threat here. It's difficult for Dig to get in some. I mean, he put some of the units so far away that they have not really come into the fore yet. Let's see if the drag is anywhere close to coming up and doing something in this turn. Remember, he ended his turn on an overwatch on the street level and he didn't actually get to trigger that. There we go. Climbing up here to get an improved hit chance, plus 10%. That was a big risk, couldn't he just walked around that? Seems like it. Alright, hitting one of the warriors here that has been coming around from the flank, but I don't know, can Dig actually... If he can walk around that leap, he's in big trouble with the drag, he could be locked down. Remember that the ghouler cannot disengage. Let's see if he has a stance. He didn't have when he moved into the Last Good Talent warrior. One of the main risks here with overpower is that if you don't end in a stance and you want to use your red pills for counterattack, you are very vulnerable to Paranoia's Last Good Talents here. A sidestep coming in. Should probably just try and go through this 50% chance. Yeah, finish him off now with 2 single blows. See if he can do it. And he can. Minus 19 morale. It's 2-0 to Paranoia, and the advantages keep piling up here for him. Not really sure what Dig can do. Yeah, he's lost 2 ghouls by the name with a name starting on J. Trying to come in support here of the captain. Is that possible? No, a little bit too off here. Manages a terror test. I like this by Paranoia. I like how the insult that he has across the warband works well in tandem with overpower. And not too many people will have good stun resistance. The matter of helmet choice is very important depending on who you face, and a lot of players simply don't have the luxury of picking. You don't get several blue and purple helmets, amulets or pennas that you can pick from and vary between the characters. You usually have to use what you can, maybe mix around a little bit to some more or less important characters. Need to cancel the all alone here on the Globadier or things could turn ugly. Are we gonna see a switcher trick here? Gonna switch weapon. Yes, we are. Gonna boost his initiative quite a bit there from -10 with the Great Axe to looked like a mace and empty hands. That's +15, that's +25 initiative. Unlucky, unlucky. Master Web of Steel here on this parry captain. If you can switch here, that would be a good opportunity to do so. Yeah, trying to take out many of the Web of Steel here, opening up for the vampire to finish the captain off. But he needs to hurry. The vampire's help is definitely in need here. He needs to finish off these targets and do so quickly. The other ghoul here could be very useful if he manages to get rid of the captain. Could leave the vampire to fight the two relatively useless marksmen. Should be able to reach combat somewhere. %69% dodge fail, that was unlucky. 86 damage, that hurts a lot. Could then end up finishing Bobby here. Well, I wonder about the rationale there. Could have gotten into combat, elects not to. Gonna be going up the initiative ladder as well with that warrior. Well, that's a gambit to be sure, but it could be nice also to lock in the Globadier entirely. I'm still not locking him in. Should produce an all alone check though.
A new round has started.
There we go. 2 more. You can see how Dig has dug himself into a little bit of a corner here. He has duels all over the place. use that. We should see some kills coming in here. It's going to snowball. I mean, yeah, Dig has dug himself into a hole, but it's he's put himself in this situation. He should have gone for the right corner group here and isolated them. That would have been the solid tactical thing to do. Elected not to do that. And even though the vampire is in a much stronger position now, it's going much worse for the rest of the warband here.
Objective completed. Objectives updated.
Saw a purple sword there. Dig is out for some trickery. He said that he got his first purple item, a hammer, and that was a purple sword. %41 chance here, 38 for the other one. Both of them failed. Not that they would have added too much to that fight. Still don't really know why Paranoia went into melee there. He could have kept firing. Finally the zombie makes it. But it's yet another duel, and as it stands right now, Paranoia has a 3-man advantage, and he's just going to mop around here. He's gonna use his numerical advantage here and there, and then it's just gonna snowball. That's how these things go. Why use delay here? Okay, he's going to use flee. What is the rationale? Who is he going to target? Is he going to go after the Dreg, for instance? Seems to be eyeing the ghoul here on the other side, but is that a good target? Or is he going for the objective here? He only needs to kill Bobby. He walks into the poison cloud. It's taking a bit of damage for this. See if he can kill the captain. Would of course have been helpful if the ghoul had started doing his attacks. He gets one more chance at it before the captain can move. Seems that George here is a full-blooded archer, and not the switcheroo character they thought he was at the start of this cast. That was most likely Quist's Dreg that I mixed up. I'm apologizing for that. An aim at 51%. That is not good. That is an indication that you should seek a different target. That was a much better target. That's a target you could have killed if you started attacking him right away here. No more parry or web of steel. Ah, that's unlucky. That is unlucky. He needed at least one of those to hit, so he could go through the web of steel here. And he didn't get anything. And here comes the champion. Low level champion, but he could start doing out some damage. Should probably go after the Dreg in some capacity.
Objective completed.
So the objective completed by Paranoia, it means he's gonna get +1 extra point here on the league table. For that you do get your amount of kills, +1 for the objective and +3 for the victory. And no one is doubting here that this game is going to a close with a Paranoia victory. But yeah, failed the parry here. That was a little bit of luck. I get a return blow. Does 28 damage. The grand prize really looking like he's going to be hurt here. That was the last of the parry attacks. And both of them are severely hurt right now. Using Adrenaline Rush, that's gonna kill him, but he's gonna look for the kill here on the captain, I assume. And he manages to get it. -23 morale there, but he's gonna lose the vampire. Doesn't have enough wounds, so even if none of these units hit him, he's gonna die on his next turn. And that is going to be a very heavy blow. Remember, with leaders it's 16 morale plus their level that you lose. And there's ample space there to get in on the ghoul and finish this work, but he really should try and move toward... lock down the zombie, should be... That's probably not locking him down. Could have locked him down further against the wall, limiting Dig's options for a comeback, but he needs to catch the Dreg here and take away any hope that Dig has. Part of the conundrum, of course, for these kind of fights is that players want as much points as possible, meaning that they can try and drag the games out a little bit. Just one more kill here and we are going to see a route test from Dig, but if that skill is gonna be on Grandpa, there will only be the Dreg to take the route test, and they have notoriously low leadership. Lowest leadership out of any hero in the game. Gonna try and move in on the zombie here, trying to produce as many kills as possible. This is purely from tactical reason and trying to advance his standings. Not much else. Not losing. Oh wow! Actually, he is. He did lose morale for that because the zombie carried the idol. The zombie carried the idol, and yeah, that could be GG. That could be GG right there. Not sure if Paranoia thought about that. I mean, you want to kill the zombie because he doesn't have any morale loss, but here we go. And the route test is successful for Dig. Does he want to stay in the fight? Does he have a chance of doing any sort of kill? Yes, he has. Has one more attack. Let's see if he can manage to hit here and kill off. He does. Kills off Molnar Sodnil. And that's reducing the score to 6-2. At this point he really should just voluntarily route. Can he do anything else? It's just as much a matter of maximizing your own points as limiting your opponents. Managing terror test. Alright, that could be interesting. See, 23 wounds left remaining, and it's gonna take 30 damage, so that doesn't really matter, but we could see a kill here from an... Yeah, we do! A marksman kills a vampire. Now we have seen everything in melee, no less.
Was stolen.
That's gonna increase the morale here of Paranoia, going back to a healthy level. And we are going to see a route test by the Dreg here. Let's see if he can make it. No, he cannot. So it's gonna end with a 7-2 victory, which will be 8-2. Congratulations to Paranoia. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this game, and we'll see you in future games. See you then. Farewell for now.